Donald Trump sat down with Joe Rogan to record a 3-hour interview for the Joe Rogan Experience podcast Friday. The episode was released later Friday evening. In the wide-ranging discussion, Trump said his biggest mistake during his time in the White House was hiring bad people or disloyal people. The former president also repeated unsubstantiated claims that the 2020 election was rigged. But when Rogan asked him if he was going to release evidence proving the election was stolen, Trump changed the subject. Rogan asked Trump whether the ex-president had made bad choices in appointing White House officials. Trump, after boasting about his Supreme Court nominees, acknowledged that the biggest mistake I made was I picked some people that I shouldn't have picked. Rogan asked if Trump was referring to neocons, to which Trump replied, yeah, neocons, or bad people, or disloyal people. In this context, Trump named 2 former members of his administration, John Kelly, a retired Marine Corps general who had been Trump's chief of staff, and John Bolton, his national security advisor, both of whom have been sharply critical of Trump and the dangers he poses. Kelly and Bolton are among the many former Trump officials who have become highly critical of the ex-president since serving under him. In an interview with the New York Times this week, Kelly said Trump met the definition of a fascist and had no understanding of the Constitution, and confirmed previous reports that Trump made admiring statements about Adolf Hitler. In the interview with Rogan, Trump called Kelly a bully but a weak person, and said he's bad, while he disparaged Bolton as an idiot. Rogan pressed Trump about the former president's assertions that you were robbed in 2020, when Trump was defeated by Joe Biden in the U.S. presidential election. How do you think you were robbed? Rogan queried, per Mediaite's recap of the exchange. Trump said, that election was so crooked. It was the most crooked election. Rogan asked for some examples. Trump replied, well, let's start. Let's start at the top and the easy ones. They were supposed to get legislative approval to do the things they did, and they didn't get it in many cases, they didn't get it. Rogan wanted to know what legislative approval he was talking about. Trump continued, like for extensions of the voting, for voting earlier. All these different things. By law, they had to get legislative approvals. You don't have to go any further than that. If you take a look at Wisconsin, they virtually admitted that the election was rigged, robbed, and stolen. They wouldn't give access in certain areas to the ballots because the ballots weren't signed. They weren't originals. They were, we could go into this stuff. We could go into the ballots, or we could go into